Welcome to the Tequila Time Podcast. I'm so excited to introduce to you my guest today, member of the Ape Yacht Club, Chanimal. Hey Chanimal, how's it going?
GM, this Chanimal. People know me as Jason as well. I'm very excited. Tequila and we've been GMing for almost a year on and off. And, I when I first saw her filter, I was very curious, like how to get one. And now, fortunately for me, I got one myself. So I'm really happy, to have the filter to use as like a content creator of some sort. I see everybody does it. It's really cool. I really enjoy doing it.
For sure. Me too. I love it. I absolutely love it. And we'll definitely go into detail about, AR technology later in the podcast. I really want to start with your story, like how you entered the Ape Yacht Club. How did that look for you right at the beginning?
Just to go back, I entered NFT like many people through NBA Top Shot. So, in the beginning, I was like a card collector, I guess, also a fantasy basketball, player. And one of my buddy doing the fantasy sports, he's saying, "Hey, have you guys seen this NBA Top Shot?" And I said, "Okay, yeah, it looks pretty cool." I said, "Oh, I do real trading card on eBay." And I said, "Oh, these looks pretty cool." So we stopped buying packs. In the beginning, like it was just like trying it out. But then after a while, we see all the money associated with it, and then things kind of went FOMO, right? And then now we realize like the power of the NFT being able to instantly trade and also being on the blockchain. This was a very new way of collecting stuff. So then, segue into regular Ethereum NFT. You have to. There's a lot of stuff you have to learn, but eventually, I didn't know much about Ethereum back then or which collection to get. But like one day, I just kind of like saw the Pansy minted out this Bored Ape thing, and at first I didn't know what was it, so I didn't really buy any yet. And then eventually, me and my friend, we actually bought one to share, not to join the Bored Ape. We were just like, oh, this might be another opportunity to, make some money. So we bought one, and that one we sold it and we made a little profit. But then I noticed like more and more people on Twitter was doing it. And I told my friend, I said, I think we made a mistake. I think there's more to these Bored Apes than it seemed. Maybe we shouldn't have just flipped it. Then we were just like talking a lot. And eventually I was like, followed the NBA a lot. I saw LaMelo Ball got one, and he bought one with the captain's hat too. So that's why that night and back then I didn't have that much ETH, so I had to go to Coinbase, move everything around just to buy the Bored Ape I have now, and it was like 1 ETH. So back then, definitely 1 ETH, was a lot for me to muster because I just I haven't been in crypto that much. So no, that's it. When I saw LaMelo Ball bought a captain hat, and I said, Bored Ape Yacht Club captain. I found the cheap one of the floor one. It was the one I have now as my PFP, and there was another one with a dress, with a captain's hat. So I decided, I said, I'll go with no clothes. I'll go naked rather than wear a dress. So that was it. I really just kind of said, at that moment, I felt it was like almost like a cultural thing. Like somehow, if NBA start of supporting this, I felt it was like really different from anything else I've seen so far in Web3. So then I definitely joined that day, and I told more of my friends. More and more people joined because I text my friend that owned the other Bored Ape with me as share. I said, I think you really should buy one because something is different. I feel something different. I just bought one because LaMelo bought one, and that was it. So that opened the door to Ape Fest, and meeting all the people. Was really great. So yeah.
Yeah, I love your story, especially considering. Now, this is where I took from your story. The fact that, okay, first of all, it was for money. People in this sort of industry, they flip things. It's a way, it's almost a new way of trading. NFTs become very popular, and crypto kitties obviously were before, and they obviously mooned. So I guess at the beginning, it being for money, totally get that. But the most interesting thing from that part of your story is you saw there was something different. You realized it was a cultural shift. You noticed something and you felt something, as did I. And you aped in, even when, ETH was at around 4K. So to go back and spend thousands says a lot. And for you to still be holding the same ape, even when we've all experienced moments, especially if you minted quite early, and held till now. We went through a huge bull run. We were getting 500,000 offers per ape. And, now we're in a bear market and prices are different. But, there's so many people who held, who are still here. And I find that a beautiful thing, because we've definitely created something that I feel like will last forever and will go down in history.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think there were like moments when you're thinking, I should be a more responsible person and cash out and maybe put that into some saving, right? And back then it was just like everyone is like, I guess it's the hype, the FOMO. When I said, I think we should sell some land, like everything, like, we all get the airdrop, right? And people were like, like nobody was selling. Everybody was just hodling. I was the only one to keep asking my friends, like, hey, I think we should sell something. I'm like, this is like, it's too much. And I don't know, I said, I enjoy definitely all the parties and all the merch, it was really fun. And then all the apes was very nice people. I think that's like one thing we noticed, like there are definitely like some bad apple in any community, but definitely a lot of, very genuine people that are willing to help you. Like I didn't know a lot of stuff. And in the beginning, I was like more guarded because I was really worried to get scammed. It was so I was like very careful. I just kept a small group of people I knew in real life that joined me in NFT. But that was really different. And then when I meet more and more people, I can really see some people, they just want to help you, to be successful and really that ape strong together, creed that we have. I really feel, that's really a big part of the community, like they people really, there's a lot of people that really believe in that and they really want to help you to be successful, or they'll give you information, without, asking for anything back. So that definitely I saw that with the board. I experienced a lot of those moments,
Yeah.
So So for that, I don't lose sleep over not cashing out at the top,
Yeah, me too. Like, obviously, there's always moments that I think everyone will experience times in life where you think, will this money ever come back again? Will there be another opportunity to make that sum overnight or in an hour or in a second even? Like sometimes it does make your brain do a few cartwheels. But where you said there's opportunity where people help, there's someone globally, and there's so many people globally that there's so many people in our community who are already building businesses, growing their IP, using their bored apes for something. They then are connected to other people and they're connected to more people. And we've got this ecosystem where we're all trying to grow. All of us, anyone who's using their bored ape, whether it's on a Twitter with their profile picture trying to grow and they're there every day, or whether it's people who are creating exterior content like for YouTube, etc., using AR filters and VR technology, we're all building something. And meaning that we're all trying to get to a point where we, one, are making history, and two, are building things and curating things that will be forever there. And to do that, it would have took a lot of people to start. And right from the beginning, there were people doing that. And the founders never asked us to. There were people putting their IP on skateboards and their own versions of merchandise and, restaurants and everything. And it's inspiring.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is like you don't see that a lot in other community. I think Bored Ape definitely had a lot of people that was very successful in Web 2. And especially like the really big people that came out, like the big ape set, oh, if they build something, but they're already very successful in Web 2. So then it's very easy for them to be successful as well in Web 3. And I mean, in the beginning, I really wasn't sure what I, wanted to do. I was just like, oh, one of my good friend, Sinbad, he was telling me just do some GMs, like I was trying to figure out, should I do giveaway? Like, how do you grow your follower? Should I do giveaway? Should I do thread or what? But one good friend, Sinbad, he said, do GM. It's really powerful. You should try it. Just be consistent. And then he showed me some pointer on the side. And I said, okay, I'll just follow him. And I did it for like 2 months. And then I noticed my follower keep going up and up. And then I just kept doing it for the last year and get to the point where it actually become like more than I imagined. Like I never imagined having more than 5,000 followers or even, whatever the number is. But then it just, you kept going and then you meet a lot of people and, I think it's like almost like a cultural thing. You just want to say hi, how people are, say something and that's it, kind of like it's a Web3 culture, I would say, at GM and, good night, good morning, right? And definitely, that's how I met a lot of good friends on Twitter, like people I haven't met in real life. And they would send you stuff like recently. So he sent me some chocolate because he's, if you follow my timeline, you always see me eating, right? So he asked me, like, do you like chocolate? I said, yeah, no. I said, I love chocolate. Then he sent me a chocolate that he's building his brand, So like people will build something and then they see you and they know you, they get to know you and then will just give it to you for free. And that's really great. And, I really enjoy it. Like now, I'm more focused on, I only have one ape. A few times I try to get my friends and me to buy more, but it never really happened. And I'm just focused now on building my IP, finding opportunity, maybe find some ambassador type of job. So you get some passive income and kind of keep you going. I mean, I'm not, full-time Web3, so I have a day job. So the pressure is not as big because I can sustain myself, not just, I guess, creating content or doing NFT degen trading, to make a living, right? So now I feel like the bear market kind of made me less stressful. I felt like during the bull market, it was really stressful because you had to mint like the next thing. Like everybody would be like, oh, let's mint this. Is set the gas. You got like 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and then you have to make sure you don't get your wallet drained or hacked. And it's like crazy. I mean, I love the bull market, but the part I don't miss is like all these like crazy stuff where you hear this mint, you're like 2 a.m. you're waiting to mint something, or you just like stop, drive on the highway, like get off on the side street, and just like get your laptop out, getting ready to mint.
Yeah, like so. No sleep. Gas was crazy. Like gas through that summer was wild, and we only saw that recently. I think with meme coins, they obviously shot the gas up like it was last summer. But you're right. There's so many memories. If you go back right to the beginning, throughout that time, it was so fast, 24/7 and continual mints. I ended up with 109 Arabian camels. Imagine that was 109 Bored Apes,
Yeah.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
I definitely learn a few things about trading now. I don't go crazy. If I believe in something, I'll get a couple. And if the price go up and it cover your cost, then you sell one and then you get a free ride and then you just hold on to the rest. That's probably like the more, normal type of traditional investment. The way I think all the degen was thinking before is like, it was like too crazy. I remember minting the land. The gas was so ridiculous, but people were still minting. I thought I had 1 ETH of gas. Okay. I'm like, okay. I said, all right, 1 ETH, come on. that should be enough, right? And back then I think it was like $3,000-$4,000, and it wasn't easy to have all these extra ETH sitting around as gas. And then my transaction was stuck. I'm like, oh no. Yeah, and then I have to like call all my friends. I try to get money out from Coinbase, couldn't do it because gas was high. But one of my friends were able to send me 0.5 ETH to finish the transaction. So it was just stuck there. And then he sent me some ETH, and I upped the gas, and I was able to get my land. But that was like one of the most stress. I think that is the highest gas in my life. I have never minted anything other the other side land. When that was, I think, like almost the beginning of the bear market. I think a lot of people, blame that the amount of gas the ape wasted, right? All the apes were wasted all these gas, and then a lot of community was really mad at us, and I felt bad myself, although I minted, but I can see where they're coming from. And then I think after that, things start not so good. That was all. I felt that I was like the top of the hype. That was the top of the NFT FOMO,
Yeah, for sure. Oh my goodness, the other side mint, it was wild gas. And the way that, so I didn't sleep, I think, for like 4 days properly, leading up to that mint. So I was not thinking clearly. When you have no sleep, you don't really think as clearly, obviously. And I really wasn't, because I ended up being a silly, silly tequila. And you'd swear I was high on tequila to do this. But obviously the mint was insane. And obviously we could claim lands with each, Bored Ape and Mutant. So I had my 2 claims, and the gas, you're right, was $3,000-$4,000. It was crazy. And then, or no, maybe more actually, because it was I can't even remember now. I'd have to go on Etherscan, but it was high. And then silly tequila thought, I'll go and mint random lands, ones I like the serial numbers of or wherever. Oh my goodness. I think I ended up with 9 in total, and I spent like, it's a high number. It was like over 200 and something thousand in real money. And I'm like, why did I do that? I think back and I'm like, obviously they dropped so much since, and I could have picked even better lands and coders and all sorts of things. But wow, wild.
Yeah. Well, I hope, you did, those were money you could lose, and you're not in like some real world debt now.
It was literally I'm retired, and that money was magic internet money, and it didn't affect me. It was more the feeling, but at the same time, like, this is how little sleep I had. So when they minted and they revealed, I was checking each land, and I was looking to see if I had a coda, and I swear I checked all of them like a million times, and I thought, do you know what, I hadn't slept for days, I'm gonna go to sleep. But I went to sleep thinking I didn't have a coda. And then when I woke up, I found a coda.
Good. That was quite cool. Congrats. Yeah. No, well, at least that's like a good part, right? At least, your love of the land, you have a coda. I don't have a coda. I'm like one of those coda-less ape. That's my mint luck is always average, Unfortunately, I swear, like, I don't even, when I mint now, whenever I get normal stuff, I'm like, oh, that's me. That's my life. It's almost like I don't expect to get anything like unique or one of one, because the only project, if I mint something unique or one of one, I know that project either gonna die or rug. It's like anytime I mint anything good, either they rug or they die off, and I'm like, why? Never good stuff happen. So I just accept my fate. I had an artifact, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's better than this next best thing. And my own ape land has a 4 resource. So I said, okay, I don't have a coda, but 4 resource must be okay. So I already accepted it, so I kind of accepted it, and I actually gonna post something soon about my land, very exciting. So hopefully in the next few days, you'll see something on my timeline about my NFT land, and actually got a custom toy made of my land.
Nice. Cool. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
so cool. And with the coda thing, obviously that was a huge gamble. And to be honest, 200K was way above the mark I probably would have thought I would go and spend. So there's different ways to look at that.
Yeah. No.
I wasn't
Make sure.
lucky.
Yeah.
I was
Make
just
sure. Make
spending
sure.
too much.
Yeah. Make sure you don't have like 100 ETH in your wallet, because like when Degen.
Thank you to today's sponsor, Ape Labs. Really appreciate what you guys are doing for digital identity. And if anyone's wondering what it is your very own .ape domain. You could just guess what I picked. Anyway, if you'd like to mint your name on the Ethereum network before someone else grabs it, and links are in the description. Better keep it quiet between you and I. Wouldn't want anyone else getting your name first. Shh. Anyway, back to today's podcast.
If you have 100 ETH, you're just gonna use it all. You don't care.
It doesn't
you
feel
need
like
to.
money.
Yeah. Yes. No, you need to move it to. I always tell my friend. I said move it back to Coinbase. And when I see that real number telling me in US dollar, then I kind of like level set. And not go crazy anymore. Because my friend's like, oh, it's only 5 ETH. I'm like, if you look at that in Coinbase, that's like $10,000. I said, it's okay. I have a good amount of NFT. I'm not gonna go too crazy. I'll just try to. So I have a new system now of trading. Is if I start off with 1 ETH, if I can grow that, then I will mint more or trade more. But if I'm not making money, I'm not gonna go, keep going crazy and chase it, So I'm trying to be more responsible, more responsible person in real life,
I like that system, and it's a really good rule. To be honest, I should take some ape notes here. And follow that advice, because it is so easy to just click a button and within seconds something happens. And we see so many scams now as well that it's just rife. There's so many, there's too many. There's a lot of opportunists, and there's criminals throughout the world, and a lot of them are on NFT Twitter. So we do have to be careful. I'd love to know your thoughts. Like if you think future, right now we know where we are. We've got a good grounding and understanding of what we're doing with for example, our Bored Ape IP, or, how we want to balance life and Web3. So if you had to say in maybe the next 5 years, where would you like to be with your Bored Ape? Like what would be the ideal situation? Do you have any plans or just dreams with it?
No, I'm just really looking for opportunity to extend my IP. So I gotten lucky. I was part of the Bugatti luggage group, so they had a luggage and I was one of the 8 chosen. I gotten some ambassadorship, like doing just being an ambassador for a project, doing different stuff. And right now I'm the filter I'm using, I'm actually an ambassador for Filter Studio, and just making video content and just posting it. That's all they really ask the ambassador to do. Just kind of bring eyes, do fun things, crazy thing, let's go, and then posting it.
Out, no?
Yeah. So I just feel like just whenever, for me now, I feel I'm at the point where more doors open up for me. Like people kind of recognize me a little bit. I'm definitely not like a super big noticeable, but still like a lot of people seen me around for a long time. And like yourself, if you've been around for 2+ years, people kind of like know you're not gonna disappear. So then it's a lot easier to find partnership, and people will come and ask you for just your advice, right? So I feel for me, it's just continuing building my IPs. If I see relationship in food or in toys or in video games, then that would be a good usage of my IP. And then I'll just let it go and see what happens and see where this will all lead. And Yuga, definitely they're big on mobile gaming, right? That's where all the Ape coin and everything they're betting on. So we'll see what happens. That's really it. I feel if we could reach that cultural branding level inside gaming, then all the Bored Ape content creator or the Bored Ape holder, we'll do okay. I don't think, personally, I don't think we're going to go back up to our all-time high, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like as long as it maintained the current price, I'm happy, and not that I'm going to sell, but it just feel good that, oh, this is still worth a decent amount of money, and just keep building, keep helping people that I know, or if opportunity come, since like I don't need I have a full-time job, I can be more selective now and pick which project I could be helping or being an ambassador of, right? So that's the good thing. So yeah, I really feel moving forward, there will be gaming and a lot of these validation where NFT will and ticketing. I think that's the future, like NFT ticketing. As we see that mature, I think Web2 gonna leverage that, and then also as collectibles, with either maybe a physical and NFT, some type of digital, as they call it, right? I feel that down the road, that will be it. And depending on how other side go, we'll see. I mean, if the other side metaverse become what it is promised to be, then I feel that will be a new way of people interacting, and experiencing stuff, in real life. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I was going to say never on the Bored Ape Yacht Club floor, because I believe something a little bit different. I think if you think about it, all of the celebrities that bought Bored Apes, they bought mainly at the top, and they're still holding. That's one thing. Secondly, one day, new people will come in and adopt NFTs, and they'll want profile pictures that are NFT collections, because I think online identity will become something more fun. It's not going to be, oh, let me filter my face so I look pretty online. It's going to be like, oh, what animal can I be? Or what can I be today in the metaverse? Now, when that happens, people are going to want to be what is popular. And if Bored Ape Yacht Club maintain their popularity, which I really think they will, then I think our floor will moon again. Now, if that happens, I've got a question for you. So say Bored Ape Yacht Club floor went to exponential numbers and it went higher than before. Say it hit 1 million. Do you have a number that it would come to the point where you'd actually sell your Bored Ape? Or are you attached to your ape to the point where once you build the IP and you can make an income that you're comfortable with forever, would you keep it? Or would you ever sell?
I feel if I'm getting okay passive income and I have my job, unless like I really need the money, let's say for something really important in real life, then I'll probably sell. But it'll be a scenario probably like you need that money maybe to see the doctor, or you really need that money to help someone or help somebody in your family, right, for a tough situation. But yeah, I'm hoping, right, if the Bored Ape Moon, some of my other zero NFT come back, so I can sell those first. I did at one point. I told my friend, because when things was like very scamming and all that, I felt a lot of pressure, and I said I feel like maybe I should sell everything except my Bored Ape and my dog. And I said, just keep that. Everything else, I'm okay. Like me, I think I would be able to sell my land and not freak out. Like I know some people like to keep the ape land. Me, since I don't have a quota, I don't think I'm as attached to it as much. So I if let's say that go back to 100,000, right? I think at the height, land was about 40 ETH, right? Ape land was about 40 ETH, right? So let's say 100,000. Yeah. If the land go back to 100,000, I'll sell my land and then I can keep my Bored Ape, But I haven't really thought about selling, but never say never. I'm not the kind of guy to say I will never sell. I don't want to say that, but because I don't know what real life things will happen. Let's say I got laid off from my job and I could not find anything for 6 months, then I have to sell, something like that. Like these would be the unfortunate incidents that might happen, that then you might have to do something that you don't like to do.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So I'm going to re-angle that question slightly. Yeah. Okay, because this is going to go down in history and I'm never going to take it off YouTube once it's up. So instead of thinking if anything ever happened, if you lost your job or, there was something serious you needed money for, let's angle it a different way. If it was an amount of money that could transform your life, you didn't have to ever work again, for example, then would you sell your ape?
I think I need to bring in my immediate family and then kind of say this is happening and make a decision together. I feel like it's not at that point. It's not a decision for one person to make. It's a big decision. But but I'm not really worried. I don't think that will happen. But I mean, if Elon Musk came and gave me $100 million, I don't know. Maybe it's possible, right? He gave me. But I would probably buy another ape, like I would sell mine and buy another ape, but
stay in the club. You still get into Ape Fest.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel for the ape that I like to tend to think of the Bored Ape Yacht Club in comparison to a country club. When you go to a country club, people pay $50,000 for a membership to golf, but at the same time, you could go to the local golf range for $100 or $200. So why do you want to join that club versus like the local club, right? So it's a lot about the connection, meeting the right people, or if you have a business, I really feel for myself, based on all the people I met, if you're building a Web3 business, I feel being a mutant and a Bored Ape really makes sense. Because as soon as you get access to that ecosystem we're in, you getting like major alpha. You're meeting with people that you know. And like I said, I might not have to sell, because if I gotten that peppy alpha right at the start, I would have moved. But I mean, I didn't get that. I'm not in the right alpha group. But definitely, I feel there's all these opportunities still available. And you see people still doing very well, right? It might not be like as crazy as before, but definitely I think Web3 offer a lot of airdrop of coins. You can do a lot of stuff on different blockchain, and then later you can claim something. It's like you said, magic internet money, right? Or magic money, right? So you don't ever see stuff like this. To me, that's, even although I'm in crypto, although I'm in Web3, like right now, every time these things happen, it's still very mind blowing to me to experience it. When you claim airdrop, you're like, wow, this is like free money, and then you can sell it. Or hold on to it, right? Yeah, it's wild.
It is wild. It brings so much emotions.
Yeah. It's like when we first claimed the Burr, I'm like, I didn't trade enough, but I didn't get that much money. But some of my friends, they were major trader. They made, over 10K, right? That's pretty good, I mean,
it's amazing.
It's amazing. And I don't see that. And I feel when people say life-changing money, it's true. Because for someone in a third world country, that is life-changing money. For someone maybe in America, you have a job that, it's not life-changing. It's a nice vacation money, but it's not like life-changing. But I definitely see a lot of like third world country people. They really believe in NFT. They really in China now, right? I feel more and more people are very interested in NFT. It's like it's different. It's like we already went through that phase. Now they're starting.
That's really good alpha, actually. Like I know, I'm aware of it. But when you're so busy in life and you're not really thinking of things like extra, you're just blinkers on, keep going forward. But yeah, you're right. And I do think anime will be very, very popular, especially with that run. It is interesting. And as much as I don't want to just, trade, I don't like the idea of having to sit at my computer all the time and be looking at numbers and checking graphs and charts. I'm not really that kind of ape. But I do see a lot of potential with that market. And anyone who is looking to, get into the next thing, that probably is the next thing. I need to do some more research.
No. And also ordinals. I don't know if you look at the Bitcoin stuff. Yeah, definitely. I feel there's still a lot of opportunity in that blockchain right now. So I've been looking into that myself. Like right now, I think it's less blind degening. It's more like research, and then you go with something that you believe in. So definitely when they had the 12 fold, I kind of I was early to ordinal, but then I got lazy and my attention span went to somewhere else. And then recently when it went to 10 million inscription, I'm like, oh, what happened? I think that's Web3, that's crypto space. Like if you blink your eyes or if you don't pay attention, you miss that meta, right? You miss that matter, and then you have to wait. But the good thing is, if you keep working hard or you keep researching, there's always something new. Like I said, don't FOMO, wait for your opportunity, and the next thing gonna come again, and then you'll be ready. That's really preparation, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Like there's so much opportunity all of the time. And actually, I think there's too much opportunity in this space. You think of everything that you could create, for example, that will be needed to be integrated into the metaverse one day, Web3 in general. It'll need everything that operates in daily life now, whether it's restaurants, nightclubs, bottles of water, vending machines, anything. It blows my mind. Wallpaper, different colors, curtains, I don't know, everything. And there's too much opportunity to create. And obviously there's lots of industries. Not only have we got obviously just profile picture projects and things like that, but also music NFTs. We've not really hit music yet. And that's going to be, stunning. It's going to be, it'll flip the music industry on its head again, a bit like when Spotify come along.
Yep. Yeah, I'm hoping. I have some of these early music NFT. It didn't moon, but it's interesting. Like you said, always like there's a lot of opportunity, definitely, and the technology is very solid, and being on the blockchain, is very easy for people to verify. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people scamming, but they're more Web2 type of scam versus like really on the blockchain, right? So I feel like we're at a good place, and being a Bored Ape, being a mutant, just being a dog, whatever, you have an advantage, you have a slight advantage because you're getting higher fidelity info versus noisy info. When you're in some other blockchain or other like smaller community, you might not know, you might not have the alpha or the information as clean as what we might have in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I really feel like we have a lot of amazing people, and now they're doing the Ape DAO is doing the incubation like funds, right? Like if you are Bored Ape now, you can write a proposal and come up with a concept, and then you can get the ApeCoin DAO to back you. I think that's like startup, like in a way, it's like Kickstarter for ape holder or any ApeCoin holder, right? So that to me is a big opportunity. If you have the drive, you have an idea, you definitely can get the support of the community. And then build, as you say, right? And I've seen on different scale, people have done that, and it's great. I mean, unfortunately, I don't have a great idea, so for now, I'm just like eating, just saying GM, and just learning, like learning different things. Like I said, there's so much to learn every day on blockchain. Like if you try to understand everything, it's so much,
Yeah, you definitely have to focus on certain things at certain times. Otherwise, your brain will just be everywhere. It's impossible to focus sometimes. And there's so much to know and learn. And it's all new, and there's people writing books already. And I think to myself, there's so much more that no one knows. And then people call themselves experts. And I'm thinking no one is impossible to be an expert right now because we haven't had history of it. But there's so much to know and learn. And like one day, we'll look back at this right now. If you think we're doing a podcast with our AR filters, we're doing it anonymously in a way. We're our Bored Apes. One day it'll be a source of knowledge of who people can trust. Because if we're still in the club and we're still here, it shows that we never sold and we stayed around to keep building and to keep supporting others. And the wonderful thing about ApeCoin DAO and what they're doing with AIPs, and where if you've got a great idea or a dream and a goal and you really want to put something together and make it work, and is that you do only have to hold ApeCoin. You don't have to be a Bored Ape or a mutant ape or anything. And the fact that anyone with an idea can put something forward is quite beautiful, because there's so many people in the NFT space and who are not Bored Apes, who have hardly any followers, but they're great people and they're so knowledgeable and intelligent. And it's sad sometimes that, the Twitter algorithm doesn't help people who are there. But I think it is a beautiful thing. And again, there's something special about Yuga Labs and everything that's, come from it. Because if you really think of how many things are possible because of them, it's mind-blowing. And as much as there's FUDMA things everywhere, and they FUD everything, they FUD everyone who are not them or in their group.
Yep.
But you can't dismiss the fact that Yoga Labs are setting the standard and leading the
Yep.
way. Even if it was a fluke of timing, they still stayed around. Like the founders didn't run off with millions of
Yep.
dollars. They stayed. And there's something special about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think whatever they come up with is they're really thinking far. They're hiring the best executive out there, to help them build out these games. They're not just like making up stuff and not investing, right? They want to be the next Roblox or whatever, right? League of Legend, right? They're trying to kind of take the whole ecosystem and build it into a brand. And like when you ask me the future, I would love to see, let's say, 20 years from now or whatever, you would see like somebody giving, let's say, your PFP, or someone gave their PFP to their kids, and I would be like, oh, I know your dad. You have the same PFP, and I know your dad. Like that point to me would be the ultimate thing where you imagine like this PFP get passed on from generation to generation. Let's say you say if I want to sell, but maybe I will never sell, and this become like my family's thing down the road, and they'll be like, oh yeah, no, that's the Bored Ape. His dad was a Bored Ape, and this been passed many generations, and whatever it means, and maybe one day, one of your great grandchildren have to sell, which is fine, But I think, if that's one thing I want to look, if we can see the future, I would love to see are we still around, and how this digital identity have matured in the future, how and where does Bored Ape, the CryptoPunk, would fit in this whole entire ecosystem, or this the story. That's very interesting. I mean, sometimes I think like, wow, it's only 2 years I've been a Bored Ape holder, right? And it feels like 5, maybe even 10 sometimes, with all the stuff we've gone through.
Yeah. So much has happened in that time. It feels like a decade. It's insane. It's crazy. I love what you just said though about passing on to future generations and knowing who was almost like the ape family tree.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. In regards to the metaverse as well, I feel like they're going to make it incredible. If you look at the other side and Bored Ape, the websites, for example, if you go on the other side website, that is a lot of effort gone into that site. Not many websites you go on and are that epic. It is so incredible that you just know it's going to be good. I feel like, it's like the level of Disney and Marvel and all of those things, just a different style. But I feel like the quality is there. Yep. They're going to put the money into it. They understand marketing. They understand what's needed. They understand the culture. They're not Web 2, they are Web 3. And you have to think in the back of your mind somewhere that if the other side took off and then they bring in P to E and you can rent your lands or your different things so that other people can play for you, that could become a passive income. And that would be amazing, because all of our investments and hodling for so long would pay off because they're still building something epic, regardless of the bear market. That's exciting.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. I think, you see the caliber of the people they're hiring, and then each time you go on the other side, you see the improvement, right? And then you have all these like gamers, like famous gamer, people that you're interacting, and being a Bored Ape is like you said, right? You get to meet famous people that you would never meet if I didn't have a Bored Ape. And I see that all over the place, and that's like really, the benefit that's hidden, like the hidden benefit that people don't really talk about, but it's really there. You have to be inside YouGov. You have to be a ape to really see that, and I feel it's great. I mean, nowadays, you've been around, you don't have to grind them as much. When you go to Discord, sometimes people are very nice to me. They'll be like, oh, Chanimal, you've been fairly active in our Discord. Do you want a whitelist? I'll be like, oh, that's great. Like versus like you have to grind so hard. But now people like they recognize, you're a holder, you're not like a flipper, I mean, I like to
Yeah.
flip, but I'm not like a crazy degen flipper, I see myself as a collector of sort. And certain things I really like, I always support, like mobile gaming. I not in addition to you, I held a lot of other gaming, NFT that I support, and yeah, it's really cool.
That's interesting. Are there any like other Web3 gaming projects specifically that you see are going
Mhm.
to go into the future strongly?
I do. I'm not aware in this project called Filaria Game, but they are a DAX gaming studio out of Canada. But the funny thing was, I actually bought the NFT in 2022, over a year ago, and the pricing kind of went down like anything else. But during NFT New York, I noticed there was a booth with lines of people, and I walk over there to see what's going on, and I recognize some of these game, like the character. I'm like, wait a minute, I think I own this NFT. So I went and asked them, what are they doing? And they were showing me this Pokemon-like game they were building that's battling, and they have a very strong tokenomic. And also, they're building a Web3 game. They are building a comic. They're building out a trading card game as well. So they're tying everything together that what you want. So to me, that is one of my that I really want to see. And they already have the alpha, and I already played the game, and it's good. So that to me, that's why one of the major thing that we have. And I'm telling you, there are apes that own hundred of these NFT. I own like six or
Wow.
seven, but there are people fully FOMO. They got holder that are a Suki and an ape. They own 100. They are whales, and
That's
and they
incredible.
yeah, it's like I never seen anything like that. Imagine like just having one board ape or two board ape. You could have okay life, but imagine somebody having 10 ape. Then you're like, oh, you don't need to work. Just take everything. You're all set, right? And but on
Yeah.
these like games, that passive income. That's where I see the possibility, like you said, right? You could have all these games, you can rent it out, let people play it, earn some income, and then now you can do profit sharing, whatever it is. So, but yeah, that one definitely is one game that I am a strong believer of. And then I'm working on a partnership with another game that my ape will be a in-game hero. So that's very exciting for me at the moment. So
Amazing.
yeah. So that's that. Then people can use my ape as a skin, in the game, and then I would be able to do passive income. So that is another like project I'm really interested in building with the team, and they have already accepted many NFT. They're not just accepting ape, they're accepting other normal NFT, right? They're not really looking at the floor
Yeah.
price. I think they just look at if you own the IP or not. Unfortunately, not all NFT have the IP usage. They cap your IP, right? So you
Yeah.
cannot you cannot maximize your IP, right? So I think Bored Ape, by doing that, they maximize my IP. And for me, like, forget about selling, right? If I can get my ape in a game, and the game is called mobile first, right? And people are start playing that game, and then you can be Chanimal in that game. To me, it's like a flex. I don't. It's
Yeah.
great. I make some money, but even if I'm not losing money, I'm happy. It's like as long as I'm not losing money and people are playing your game, you're like, wow. I don't know. It's like this little things make me happy in life now. After the pandemic, I'm not looking for big win anymore. It's
Yeah.
like
Just
yeah.
grateful for the small stuff.
Yeah. As long as our wallet don't get drained, and once in a while you get a little
Yeah.
ape coin staking, buy some good food, get a ape fest party or a local, meet ape gathering. I think like every time you want to sell, if you go to a ape fest or you go to a game a meetup, then I think you don't want to sell. Unless you never go experience that, then I can see people selling. But when you meet the
Yeah.
people in real life, you start talking to them and you start enjoying their, I guess when you start enjoying the conversation, then you like, okay, I'm not going to sell. I feel people who sell is because they never go to these activity or they never meet people. And definitely there's like a lot of apes in Asia. They really like help me all the time. It's like crazy. I'm Asian, but I'm in America. But a lot of time I always like follow what's happening in Asia. I'm very curious all the time. And I would like DM people and wait for them to, reply. But every time they would help you and show you everything and just like teach you. And then, and then you will share alpha together. That's great. And I'm really looking forward to my vacation this year. I'm going to Asia, so I'll be able to meet all these apes out there. I think that's one major benefit too. When you travel, you could probably find apes everywhere to meet you. Like Tequila. If you go to, I don't know. You live in the Caribbean, right?
I'm currently in the Caribbean. I travel though. I have no anchor.
Okay. Yeah. So if you go all over the place, you say, "Hey, I'm in here." People will be like, "Oh, let's meet up," right? So you see, you see all the Lisbon party and all those stuff, So that's great.
Yeah.
I think that is something, like I said, you have to experience it to feel it. If you've never been to one of those things, you might not get it, unfortunately,
I agree. Like there's something so special about when you've been friends with people online and you're all anonymous. And for many of us, no one knows what your face looks like. And then you turn up to an IRL event and then you meet people you've spoken to for 2 years online and you finally meet this like, wow, this like euphoric sort of feeling.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me because, years and years ago, before the Bored Apes and before everything else was so much online, you'd say, oh, I should be careful. I shouldn't meet someone from, the online world where, unless they've got a real photo with a real email and a real number and all that kind of stuff. And you worry, you think, you're told to be wary of people online. And suddenly we're all online, we're all anonymous, we're all profile picture projects that are nothing like, our human version.
Yeah.
And then you meet up, willingly without knowing anything about each other except for the fact that you're on Twitter in the NFT communities. And, there's something really special about that. It is definitely the one thing that would keep people in each community, not just the Bored Apes, all of them.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think in any community, people love these in real life meetup and definitely common interest will gather you to, let's say, a sport NFT or a music NFT, right? Because that's what you like. And that's how I say why NFT will have value no matter what. So it's like, imagine you joining a club or a small country club and you're always meeting these people that you enjoy, right? And even if it costs a couple of $1,000s, like you wouldn't care because you feel, what you're getting out of it, it is well worth that because it's like somebody paying for a gym membership that's $300 versus $30, right? Sometimes it's not the weight, it's like the people inside the gym that will make the difference, right? Yeah. So no, definitely. I think the in real life stuff, although people a lot of times say is not a big utility, but I feel that's what make the community strong. Because after you go to these big meetup or the small meetup or just personal meetup, then you're gonna be more, into it so that you don't see yourself selling as much. You'll be like, oh, that's fine. Like I said, you're not gonna sell unless there's something really crazy happening in your life and you're forced to, But I think, that's really it. And everyone, I mean, I'm not doxxed, but I have met many people, in real life. And if you're in New York, then a lot of people know how I look like. But I think, like you said, the reason for someone being doxxed or not being doxxed is really that you want to be safe. Because there's still a lot of people out there thinking, wow, you have a Bored Ape, you're super rich. But, in fact, we're not. We're just like regular people. And we just have one valuable collectible, and then that's it. But I don't want to deal with people asking me for money or telling you all kind of get rich scheme, and that's really the reason why I kind of want to protect my identity. I don't want to put my personal well-being in danger, and I could see that. Being like, especially you being a girl, like meeting up random guys. Wow, you need to really find people to spoke with. Like, do you know this Ape? Like, is he like a normal person? Like, and people will say, oh yeah, that guy's cool. Then you would meet up. But I would feel like, you still have to be careful, because there's still like anything, a lot of crazy people looking for opportunity, and I'm a very careful person in real life.
The same. I'm the same. I like to be as anonymous as possible, but not in a way because I'm not trustworthy. More because you never know what'll happen in life. You never know who's following you online to then follow you offline. It's just to keep safe. I believe in people's right to be anonymous in that way, or a matter of safety, because you never know.
And all these AR filter now we're getting access to. That's great. I really feel like more and more people will love using that, because in a way, like I don't know, like my Web 2 personality will be more quiet than my Web 3, but when you hide behind your filter, you sometimes, a different side of you could come out, right? It's like things just intensify a little bit more, right? Like somebody might be very quiet in real life, but when you're tequila, you start drinking tequila and partying hard. Maybe normally, you're not as outgoing, right? And do crazy stuff. When you're 8, I think people just go crazier. They just let themselves go. They feel like, oh, I'm gonna go. Let myself go.
There's definitely truth to what you're saying, because if someone can hide behind a filter, they've got more confidence to be that character. But in my case, I don't need alcohol and I don't need my Ape filter. I'm literally this excitable in real life. And
great, that's great.
It's a natural one.
Natural.
But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It can give you a boost of confidence without needing anything extra. Just the filter helps.
I agree. No, definitely. I think it's very interesting time we're living in, and I'm really happy to be part of it, and meeting different people, and I'm really looking toward the next Ape Fest and my vacation this year, because I'll be like finally meeting like international apes, I guess, yes, you call it, people in other country, but they're, Bored Ape or Yuga collectors, it's great,
It's super exciting. I cannot wait for this year's Ape Fest, and we're definitely going to have some tequilas together for sure. Hopefully, I'm still saving my vacation, so I hope I have enough days left to go. Unless it's in Europe, I think if they have it in America, I'll definitely go. Europe might be tough for me because with the long flight and stuff. But hopefully, it's quite far.
I think if there's any flood right now, I would only blame Yuga for not giving us information. That's the only part as a holder right now. I feel they should have given us a better information, even if it's like, hey, it's gonna happen October, November. That's fine, because I think people are getting to the point like they're getting almost like a little bit trolling and unhappy. But whereas I was thinking of doing when Ape Fest treat for like 7 days in a row, like,
that's
doing
a good
that.
idea. I'll join your threads.
Okay.
When Ape Fest 2023, and we'll just trend it on Twitter. We'll
keep sending it every day, and
that's a good idea. Because people need to plan their lives, and like you said, you have a day job. You need to make sure you can have time off. You need to make sure that it works out, even cost-wise, depending where it is. And it would definitely be great if someone could say, oh, it'll be in the fourth quarter of the year, between October, December. And they don't have to say when. You have low battery.
Low battery.
It's covering your face.
Yep. Okay, I think we're gonna wrap up soon.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up soon. I would like to first just thank you so much for your time. You know, it's your most valuable asset, and I really have loved having you on the podcast. It's been great to get to know you deeper. Also, I would love there to be a part 2. You know, we'll see where we are in a few months and how things have changed. And I'd love to, you know, speak to you again for sure.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, I would love to, be a future guest, and then hopefully, you know, we share a little tequila, and this is the alpha. The one thing that always get me drunk and really mess me up when I was in college is tequila pop. When I drink those, I stop blacking out. So I can drink other alcohol, but when people offer me tequila, I'm like, no tequila. But with you, I'll break that tradition. I'll have a little bit.
I appreciate that very much, even if it's just like, you know, a tiny bit of tequila, just for the occasion. But absolutely. And before you go, I would love to also gift you something on behalf of today's sponsors.
Okay.
So there's .ape domains and a bit like .eth. And I'd love to gift you, you know, if you want Chanimal.ape or, you know, whatever you choose, I would, like to do that today for you.
Okay, great. I'll send you. Yeah, let me think about what I want. I guess. Is it searchable? Do they have a website that you can search?
They do have a website. Yeah, I'll send you all the information after the podcast.
All right.
And
cool.
I would just like to do something kind for people who are turning up for me, because I really do appreciate the time, honestly.
Hey, no worries. No worry. I appreciate you. You know, giving me this surprise. You know, surprise gift. You know, and definitely. It's great. I mean, like I said, I see so many people on Twitter, and there are a lot of like great genuine people like you reaching out, and I always want to, you know, connect even more than our general, you know, GM, and I'm super excited. Hopefully they'll let us know when Ape Fest is, and then, you know, we could all plan and we can all meet up and maybe do a live show at Ape Fest, you know.
That would be amazing.
Your podcast. That would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
We'll get Grateful Ape. We'll get maybe get a bunch of captains together. Maybe that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. It's such a good idea. We should make that happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it.
Let's
fucking go! Tequila! Oh, amazing. I'll see you back on the GMs for sure. It's been amazing, fam. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, I had so much fun too. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
See you.